Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be working on the front flower bed in front of my house, which I have showed you guys a couple of times in previous videos and talked about the fact that I've been wanting to redo this bed, and so we are finally getting to it. Now, currently it's like in full sun and kind of hot out there. And so I figured I'd start the introduction here where you can actually see my face. So I've been wanting to do this video for you guys for quite a while. And it just kept getting pushed back because I haven't been able to find the plants that I want to plant in this flower bed. And I really have a specific idea of what I'd like. So until I find those plants, I've kind of just been picking up odds and ends around what my actual structural pieces will be, and I probably won't be able to find those until spring now is what I'm thinking. That's what it's looking like. So I decided I would go ahead and I'm going to show you guys what this bed looks like now, because I got it all cleaned out, moved some things around that I did want to keep in the bed, and I did pick up a few plants that we're going to go ahead and get planted today because I need to get them in the ground before it gets too cold. So let me take you down and show you what that space is looking like right now. Give you a little bit of an update of what it looks like all cleaned out. Forewarning, it looks totally empty and bare and just ridiculous. But let me show you. Okay, so here it is. You can see that there's some plants that I have already set out, and I also put some tools here. Hi Evie. Hi kitty. What are you doing? Oh, you're okay, kitty. Anyway, I put some shovels out here to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm going for. So where these shovels are is where I want my strong evergreen interest to be. So as you can see, we have like this stone wall as the foundation for our house, and then our house is actually super duper tall with not a lot of interest going on. And so I really want to soften this stone wall, and I want to bring some height interest so that the front of the house doesn't look so, I don't know. I just want to soften it a little bit. So right here where these shovels are, I'm going to be planting 3 emerald green arborvitaes, which, if you guys have been with me for any length of time, you may know that my first video ever on YouTube, I was planting emerald green arborvitaes, and I still have them today, and I love them so much, and that's why I'm planting more of them. So let me show you those. Okay, so right here are my 3 emerald green arborvitaes that I planted, about 2 years ago now. And I absolutely love these. Look how soft and fluffy they are. They have a nice conical natural shape to them, and yet they are so soft to the touch. They smell good, and they keep this absolutely gorgeous green color all year long. They don't bronze out in the winter or anything like that. I love them so much. They're so sweet. And they get about 4 to 5 feet wide and then about 14 or so feet tall. So those arborvitae, like I had said, are about 2 years old, and they have not grown too much since I planted them there. And I'm pretty sure the reason is that they only get sun about half the day, or a little less than half probably, and they don't get a ton of water. I have this like huge maple tree that goes right over the top of them, and it deflects a lot of rain, and it also soaks up a lot of moisture that's in the soil. And even though they're happy and they're gorgeous and they're doing great, they're just not growing all that fast. And I actually, in that space, am totally okay with that, because originally I thought I would choose them and then kind of trim on them to keep them size controlled a little bit, which I don't know how well they would do. Like when I originally planted them, I didn't know all the things that I know now, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if it's a good idea to trim on arborvitaes like that. I feel like it would ruin its fluffy, beautiful, gorgeous texture that I love so much. So we're gonna have to see how those do. Like I said, they've been in there for 2 years and they've gotten a little bigger, but really not much. So in this front flower bed space, I'm using the same thing because I love them so much, and I'm giving them the space to get as big as they want here. I want that nice 15-foot tall tree to really bring some interest to the front of my house and bring some height to the flower bed and soften this stone wall. So the first tree here in the center, I have centered with the pitch of our roof. So that's all nice and symmetrical. And then I have the flanking ones on either side. And then this is my next big structural piece that I'm going to be adding. This is hold on. This is a Lady in Red 9 bark. It likes full sun. Hold on. Look at that picture. Aren't those little blooms just the cutest? I can't wait for the blooms on this guy. A little bit of stats about this. It likes direct light most of the day, 6 feet tall, 4 feet wide. It blooms in late spring to early fall. Whoa, camera. Whoa. There we go. It's hardy down to zone 2. That's crazy. But you can see the foliage is absolutely gorgeous, and not just the foliage, but the stems themselves kind of have that red burgundy color to it. And then of course it is contrasted with those beautiful pink blooms. So I'm really excited about this one because I want this nice deep foliage color contrasted next to our emerald green arborvitae. I think it's going to be gorgeous. And I am placing one right here, right beside that arborvitae. It's gonna get pushed over just a little bit more. And then I want to get another one of those and plant it right here. I kind of want to balance the space and bring a lot of interest. And I was trying to figure out what to do with this corner over here, and I think it's a perfect idea to do 2 of them just flanking both sides. Now, it's a little bit of a weird space because this side of the bed kind of curves down and around into the rest of the flower beds. So I'm probably going to bump him over just a little more to try to make him symmetrical with this one. But obviously, I don't have this guy yet. He's one of those plants I can't get yet. And I can't find my arborvitae. So grumpy. The plant that we are going to be planting today in this space are these beauties. Aren't those leaves so interesting? They're so glossy and vibrant. They are a wild swan anemone. Look at those flowers. Aren't they beautiful? I don't have any anemones in my garden right now, and I'm super excited about getting these. So these are, let me clean this off a little bit so you can see it. So these get 20 inches high, 16 inches wide. They like more than 4 hours of sun a day, so they're part sun, zone 5 through 9, and their bloom is in late spring to early fall. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait for their blooms. I have 4 of these, and I think I'm just going to put them in a drift right here. So my phone was starting to overheat, so I thought I would come up here and talk to you guys in the shade again just for a second. So even though it has been cooling down quite a bit, today seems to be an oddly warm day for our fall up here. But anyway, I wanted to tell you guys that we had noticed when I was digging out all the plants from that flower bed, getting rid of all the things and moving things that I didn't want in there anymore, that flower bed was bone dry. The soil was bone dry, and it had been raining 2 days prior to digging in that bed. And so I went to my other flower beds and made sure okay, it's still, the soil in these beds is quite wet. And so for whatever reason, that flower bed is not getting enough water. I don't know if it's because of the overhang of the house roof. It really doesn't look like it comes out that far, and it's so high up. Like, I never would have thought that that would keep water from getting to it, but it's definitely having a water issue. And so that's something that we have to consider, and something that me and my husband have been talking about is potentially setting up an irrigation system of some kind. Now, I don't know how elaborate that is going to get, whether it's going to become a whole freaking drip system for our entire property. That would be amazing. Or if it's literally just a sprinkler set out on a hose. Like, I really have no idea what it's going to end up looking like. I think the dream for me would be to have a drip system run everywhere, because then I wouldn't have to drag hoses everywhere, and that would be great. But for now, that is something that we are dealing with, and something that I am now aware of is that we definitely have water issues in that bed, and so I'm going to have to be watering that area consistently by hand. So going into planting these new plants and things, that's something I'm going to have to keep in mind, and that's something that I want to just bring up, because even though I thought that that bed was fine, I chalked up different issues with my plants to pest issues, to not enough light, to too much light, because I just assumed, like, we get a decent amount of rain, I just assumed that it was getting enough water. But then in inspection and digging around, I'm like, this is clearly not getting water like the rest of the beds are. So that can always be an issue. Like, I never would have dreamed that that bed was not getting enough water, but clearly it was. So something to just look into. You know, it's always something as far as like either light, water, or pest issues really with plants. And so if you're struggling with plants, even if it's something that you're like, no, there's no way that that's a problem, check into it, because I guess it could be the problem. Okay, so now we are going to go back out into the blazing sun. Good night. And we are going to get those plants planted.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of I think a behind the scenes of the process that I go through when I am designing a flower bed or redesigning a flower bed. And so I hope you guys didn't mind my rambling and my process. I hope it was helpful for you guys to see. And I can't wait to see this bed come together and to share with you. I hope I can find the arbs and things like that before winter. If not, we will be picking this bed back up in spring. I really hope I don't have to wait that long though, because I'm so excited. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one.